Alrighty, what's up, everyone? Just gonna get things set up and we'll be ready to go. Everyone's day is going well. And in case you're wondering, the player in the thumbnail is who the rant is about for this week's episode. I'll get into that during the episode. Sweet. Nope. No. Alrighty, let's begin. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of Benny in the Booth podcast. On this week's episode, we've got MLB Weekly Recap, and we've got a rant about something that happened this week in MLB. All come up. Let's get right into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 81 of the Benny in the Booth podcast. Thank you so much for the support to this point. I very much do appreciate it. If you haven't checked it out on the community chat tab, I have posted on the community tab link to the Staten Island Fairy Hawks Jewish Heritage Night ticket purchasing. That is tomorrow night, 6:30, 7 something game, I think. Yeah, I'm mixing up times. But either way, they're hosting Jewish Heritage Night. I'd help them out with Jewish Heritage Night. I'm not forcing ticket proceeds. For every ticket, $3 goes towards Wagner Holocaust College. If you have the ability to go, it's a great ballpark. I know Staten Island can be a bit of a drive for New York. But if you have the opportunity to go, definitely great ballpark to check out, even for minor leagues. Just wanted to get that out of the way. I'm actually going to start with NBA this episode because there was a big traded basketball that really throws a lot of people, including myself, for a loop that happened since last episode of the podcast. And even though I don't always talk about basketball, I just wanted to talk about it. Bradley Beal is getting traded from the Washington Wizards to the Phoenix Suns. And now it's going to be with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Along with Beal, Jordan Goodwin and Isaiah Todd are going to Phoenix. And then the Wizards... Or no, sorry, they're not, I guess. And the Wizards are giving back, or the Suns are giving back Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, a handful of second-round picks, and multiple pick swaps back to Washington. It was kind of expected that Washington was going to go on a tank, so that wasn't so surprising. It's more of who they're trading it to. And, you're forming a big three, but let's be honest. The big three era in the NBA is over. There is no real, true, successful big three anymore in the NBA. 2, it's ball hogger, and ball hogger all on one team in duo. It's not like, they passed the ball. No, they all want their points and all want the ball. So I don't know how much is going to even work out for Phoenix. And now they have a lot of money in the people they have. And I think Booker's due for a new contract at some point. It is just going to be interesting to see how this unfolds. For Phoenix, you better hope it works out because otherwise you're going to be screwed in multiple ways if it doesn't. All right, let's get into MLB. So I'm actually going to start with the Rant. So prior to yesterday, I believe it was Sunday when they made the announcement, Pirates announced that they're calling up their top catcher prospect, Henry Davis, was the first overall pick in 2021, when blooming in the minors, and they finally called him up to face the Cubs. Facing the Cubs is my rant part. Keyword is that he is a catcher. Not first base, not second base, not shortstop, not third base, not outfield, catcher. Now, another key fact to put into this that shouldn't really be relevant to the matter because at the end of the day, this is a top prospect they're calling up, is they already had two catchers, and either got sent down on their roster. And Austin Hedges and some other guy, but both are trash offensively and okay defensively. And then you look at Pirates lineup yesterday. And you look at catcher, and it's not Henry Davis. It's Austin Hedges, and you're like, that's a little suspicious. Isn't he supposed to make his debut today? Yeah. Except he was put in right field. And apparently, their plan is he's going to be primarily between right field and DH in the majors because they have two other catchers. Are you stupid, Pirates? Seriously? He is a catcher. And even if he does have the possibility to play outfield, which he had a mixture of defensively last night. But even MLB The Show gives future star cards out. Last year they gave him one. He had no secondaries. What are you doing? Okay, he might not be the best defensively, but what are you doing? He should not be playing outfield. That's worse. If you want to tell me he's not so good defensively. DH, fine, I might be able to understand that a bit more. But right field? I don't know. I just didn't understand it. I don't know. Maybe if there's a Pirates fan here in the comments, try to explain it to me because I don't know. And my explanation, by the way, is direct from the manager, Derek Sheldon, who I watched his interview on the matter before the game last night. But it just, I don't get it. By the way, he had a double in his debut and didn't do much else. And the Cubs shut out the Pirates 8-0, which, by the way, the Pirates are really struggling right now. They've gone from first place to now on a 7-game losing streak going into tonight's game against the Cubs, and in third place in NL Central. They're starting back to fall back into reality hard. We'll see if they bounce back or not, but I don't know. That just decision just spins my head and just makes me like want to go to Pittsburgh and go to them and just shake their heads like, what are you doing? And yes, they have another great catcher in Henry Rodriguez, also in minors, but he's not on their roster yet. Could be gets called up this year for all I know, but at the moment he's not. I just don't understand it. Someone maybe that try to explain it to me because I just don't get it. I go. Anyways, that was the rant I wanted to go on before we started. Anyway, so A's could. So let's get to the main part of this. The A's continued their winning streak to 7 straight. When before the streak was at a 194 win percentage, and is now and then tied for the longest by a team to enter with a win streak with a sub 200 or under 200 win percentage, minimum of 25 games in the season since the 1895 Louisville Colonels, I think it's pronounced, 192 win percentage, and the 1885 Detroit Wolverines 190 win percentage per Live Sports Bureau. Which, congrats to the A's, the fact that they even pulled off that heck of a winning streak. Congrats to them. Sadly, they ended on a 5-game losing streak. Ouch, but even the fact that they were able to go on that winning streak was still impressive. Anyways, moving on. 6-run-6 led the Cubs from down 5-1 to win over the Pirates 10-6 in Wrigley. This was not the series, the debut. That was more recently. They just played at home against the Pirates, swept them. I think 2, if not all 3 of the games were coming back from against the Pirates and then dominating. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa was still home during the Subway Series, but it did not help the Yanks as they got swept by the Mets. They split with the Mets in Citi Field for the Subway Series, losing this specific game 4-3. IKF stole home in the 7th inning. On pitch, it actually almost hit the batter in the head. Jake Berger had a 2-homer game against the Dodgers. Justin Turner had a 2-homer game, including grand slam, and the Red Sox 15-5, demolishing the Yankees. Ronald Acuna Jr. as of Friday now has 15-plus homers and 30-plus stolen bases through first 70 games of the season, and Braves 8-1 win versus Rockies. Currently, let's see where he's at currently now. He is on pace to have very much MVP-like season. Right now, he's at 15 homers and 30 stolen bases, but he really could be. He is on an MVP pace, and with pace he's going at, I would not be surprised if he gets MVP. Andrew Abbott became the first starting pitcher in the modern era to start career with 3 scoreless starts of at least 5 innings in the Reds' 2-1 win in the Astros. They swept Houston over the weekend, and that was a big part of the sweep. Emmett Sheehan goes 6 no-hit innings in Major League debut for the Dodgers versus Giants, yet the Dodgers still lost 7-5 and 11 innings in a wacky game. Samad Taylor had a first career hit was a walk-off RBI single in a Royals 10-9 win over the Angels. Zach Remillard, his Major League debut after 8 years in minors, hit game-tying RBI single and go-ahead RBI single for the White Sox in a 4-3 win over the Mariners. 5-6 leads Giants over the Dodgers 15-0. Nolan Arenado had a 2-homer game on first Father's Day since becoming a dad in the Cardinals' 8-7 win over the Mets. Joey Votto had, in his season debut, had a homer, a 2-run double, a walk, 3 RBIs in total, and a 5-4 Reds win over the Rockies. And the Mets hammered the Astros 11-1 behind Scherzer's 8 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts in a 5-run third and 5-run ninth. And the Giants capped off 4-0 comeback with 3-run 10th off Mike Yastrzemski walk-off 3-run homer. That's the game's part of this recap. Standings-wise, not much else is really significantly changed. The only real notable streaks that are either current, Baltimore was on a 5-game win streak at one point, though that is not anymore. They ended on a 1-game win streak. Royals were on a 10-game losing streak at one point, they're on a 2-game losing streak currently. Of course, the A's won. Brewers ran into 6-game losing streak. They're now on a 1-game losing streak. Reds are in first place, by the way, on a 9-game win streak. Pirates are on a 7-game losing streak. Cubs are on a 5-game win streak at one point, ended on a 1. Cardinals are on a 6-game losing streak, ending on a 3-game win streak, and the Giants are on an 8-game win streak, and the Dodgers have moved now into third place behind both the Giants and the Dodgers Diamondbacks after the Giants swept the Dodgers over the weekend. MLB has been shaken up recently with certain teams. I don't even know what to say about the Dodgers for this year. They got to bounce back soon. And their GM, Andrew Freeman, was like, we're going to definitely be looking at pitching. Boy, you need a lot more help than just pitching. You have a lot more weaknesses in your team than just pitching, my boy. Pitching is just the basis of the Dodgers' problems right now. They have a bunch of other issues. Speaking of, I am curious to see something because I have not looked at some of their stats in a while. I do want to see how certain players of theirs are doing currently. Oh, Lord. Let's see. JD Martinez. How are you doing? 257 with 16 home runs, 48 RBIs, 301 OBS, 5. He's not really great. Hayward's fallen back down to earth, definitely. Trace Thompson, definitely fallen back down to earth. What has happened to Trace Thompson? Holy smokes. David Peralta's some of their additions from the offseason have been putting up mixed results this year. But yeah, they got to get a grip sooner or later because at the current moment, they're not in a good situation. We'll see what happens though. But tonight's schedule for MLB: Royals at Tigers at 6:40, Orioles at Rays at 6:40, Braves at Phillies at 6:40, Marlins at Blue Jays at 6:40, Cubs at Pirates at 7:05, Cardinals at Nationals at 7:05, Mariners at Yankees at 7:05, Rockies at Reds at 7:10, A's at Guardians at 7:10, Red Sox at Twins at 7:40, Mets at Astros at 8:10, Rangers at White Sox at 8:10, Diamondbacks and Brewers at 8:10, Giants hosting the Padres at 9:45, and then Dodgers at Angels at 10:05. Before I completely wrap up this week's episode, I will be at tomorrow's Jewish Heritage Night game at the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. If you want to purchase tickets, the link is in the community tab. I posted it there. I will also be at next week's Mets Brewers game in New York with a friend of mine. Not the friend I've been doing a lot of trips with recently, a different friend. So if you're there, maybe you see me there. If not, otherwise. And then I can confirm the first full week of July, I will be doing Minnesota. And I hope to be making a vlog out of it. I just have to start booking things for that trip sooner than later. But that's it for this week's episodes. Let's wrap things up. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Benny and Booth Podcast. On next week's episode, we'll have the MLB Weekly Recap and anything that pops up between now and then, whether it's football or basketball or any of the sports I generally cover on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new on YouTube, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button so notify when I go live. and or post the video. If you're new on audio, follow the podcast, leave a review, hit notification button so notify when I post on there. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I will see you in next week's episode 82. Bye-bye.